Good evening. I'm Tom Kelleher, principal at Nashua Catholic Regional Junior High School. Tonight is our annual science fair, and what this is all about is the students creating their Rube Goldberg projects. For those of you who don't know, Rube Goldberg was an outstanding personality in the early part of the 20th century. He was an engineer that started on the West Coast, and he gradually acquired a reputation for being a cartoonist. And he eventually migrated to the East Coast, lived in New York City, and became a syndicated cartoonist as well as a radio and TV personality. He was also known to encourage people to use their imaginations and creativity in creating complex machines to solve simple tasks. Rube Goldberg himself was known to have devised a machine to pull the cotton batting out of an aspirin bottle. So as you look around the room tonight, you will see our students who have created their own Rube Goldberg projects. These projects represent the culmination of about 2 months of work. The students were engaged in high-order thinking skills, analysis, evaluation, synthesis, as well as creativity and imagination. They've used some of the fundamental principles of physics to create the machines that you will see here tonight, complex machines that really solve simple tasks, as Rube Goldberg wanted. They've used pulleys and levers, wheels and axles, wedges, inclined planes to create their machines. And the interesting thing about this is they were encouraged to use simple household items, junk if you will, that they could have found around the home. So again, it looks to be an exciting evening, and I hope you'll have an opportunity to see on camera some of the fine projects that our students have created.
Hey, I'm Marcel LaPlante, and I'm at Nashua Catholic Science Fair, and I have a Rube Goldberg project, and it's called the tissue taker, and the object of it is to pull a tissue. It's pretty awesome. It starts by tipping this cup that's on the wheel into an inclined plane, where marbles roll down into the screw, which falls into a cup connected to a pulley that pulls up a tissue that's held in by a fish hook. It's a pretty intense Rube Goldberg, I'm not going to lie, but I worked hard on it. Okay, here it goes. That's money right there, I'm not going to lie. That's pretty intense.
Hi, I'm Gary Storrs, and this is live from the Nashua Catholic Rube Goldberg Science Fair, and my project, it's called the water feeder, and how it works is it's supposed to knock that water bottle over there into that dish, and what I do, I release this red lacrosse ball and it hits the car. The car rolls down the inclined plane and hits that street hockey ball. The street hockey ball rolls down and hits that tan lacrosse ball, which rolls down the lever and hits that blue lacrosse ball, knocking it over. And here's the demonstration.
My name is Samantha Goy, and this is my project for the science fair. It's going to start off by me knocking these dominoes, which are acting as levers, down, which would then hit the ball bearing. It will travel down the first inclined plane and through the elbow, down the second inclined plane and into the screw. When it comes out of the screw, it's going to travel onto the third inclined plane, hitting the hook, triggering the pulley system, and finishing the task. And the task is hand sanitizer, knocking hand sanitizer into your hand. Bella, hold it backwards.
My name is Bella Littlefield, and this is my science or Rube Goldberg project. my task is starting an iPod, and the trigger of my task is my car jack, which is a wheel and axle and also a screw. When I crank the car jack, it will hit this wedge, which hits these two dowels, which are on an inclined plane, which will trigger my iPod to play. Okay, my music is playing.
Hello there, my name's Neil Sunil, and my project for the 2010 Science Fair is my Mount Temple Bell, and I will explain to you how this project works. This project works like this. First you use 2 or 3 balls, and simultaneously they will go through the screw. And after the screw, they will go down to these inclined planes right here, and they will go to the bucket. And right near the bucket right here is a pulley. And that pulley makes this lever right here push the wedge down, which in here pushes the inclined plane and makes the ball go down and hits the bell. And now I will show how will this work. Here we go.
Hi, I'm John Noon. This is my science project. It is supposed to turn on a light, and it can light up a dark room. It's pretty bright. And I will put a ball up here, and it will fall and go around this screw, and then it will go down the inclined plane, onto another inclined plane, onto another one, and the ball will fall into the cup and pull on this pulley, which will knock that ball off and knock over the dominoes. Then the dominoes will knock over the golf ball into this cup, and then it will go around the pulley, and it will pull up on this lever, which will make this nail hit the metal bracket, and it will turn on that light bulb. Okay, so here's my experiment. And it turned on the light bulb.
Hi, my name's Chris McGinnis, and my project is the Confetti Shooter 2.0. I put this ball in this cup, and it lifts this pulley, making marbles go down this inclined plane and around this screw. It knocks out the support for this lacrosse ball, shooting confetti into the air. Let's see. Whoa, there it goes. And it didn't work, you're right. This is how it's supposed to work, though. Yay! Confetti Shooter 2.0, what's up?
Hi, my name is Kat Mail. My machine is called the Flipper because it flips open a notebook. That wasn't my original idea. My original idea was to draw on a whiteboard, but I changed it very near to the due date of the project, probably closer than I should have. It took me like 5 hours roughly to get all this together and to create the flipper. It works most of the time, but so what happens is when you hit this lever, the weight should fall into the bucket and the bucket will fall down and hit that lever. That lever will release a bingo ball and it will go into the bucket of the pulley, and the pulley should release this this marble from its bucket, and it will go into a little water wheel which will spin and upset this lever, which will fall into that bucket, which will go down and thus lift the page of the notebook. So let's try it out, I guess. That's what's supposed to happen. So thanks for watching, and you've seen the flipper work.
Hi, my name is Shannon Wright, and this is my Rube Goldberg project at Nashua Catholic. It's called A Barbie Goes for a Swim, and the task is to make Barbie dive into a pool. What you do is the gear turns. It's a bicycle chain and a gear, and it moves this gear up, and it goes up the screw drive, which then hits the coat hanger. Well, the coat hanger moves up and hits the connects piece, which makes the golf ball roll down the inclined plane, hit the lever, and then the lever flies Barbie up into the pool. Okay, it doesn't work all the time, but most of the time. All right, I'll give you a demonstration. Okay, golf ball's a little off, but I'll give it another try. Okay, here. One more try here. Okay, come on, golf ball. Okay, hold the thing down. Okay, well, not every project works, but it's just important that it works for the judges, which is important to me. But usually that would hit that, and Barbie lands in the pool. It took me a couple of days to make my project, and the materials I used were just wood, paint, of course, to decorate, and I just used a lot of things around the house, and my family has a lot to do with biking, so having the bike gear was really just a simple task, and I chose this task because I'm a swimmer myself, and I just thought that I would like to incorporate like one of my hobbies into my project. And yes, so thank you, and you just watched Barbie go for a swim.
Hello, I'm Megan Riley, and this is the amazing popping machine. I thought of this when I thought about how after a party you have all the leftover balloons and you have to pop them some way, but you should make it fun and also educational. So this is my Rube Goldberg project. I will pull on this pulley, releasing the balloons down this neon pink screw made of Model Magic, down this inclined plane through another screw. They will land in this cup, and the weight and the force will be redirected. So the tube will be pushed up into the car, which is a wheel and axle, down this inclined plane and popping the balloon. Another successful completion.
Hi, I'm Charlie Southern, and this is my 2010 Science Fair project, and I will explain how it works. When I drop the quarter, it'll tilt the lever, causing the car to go down into the nail, causing the washer to fall off, and the stick to go up, and the car with the wedge into the balloon and popping it. I will now demonstrate. Thank you. Works every time.
Hi, I'm Amy Valianti, and this is my 2010 Science Fair project, and it is raising a flag. First, you pull away this wedge, bringing the ball bearing down the screw and down this inclined plane, hitting the lever to hit the next lever, having the pulley go up and raising the flag. And the flag is risen, and that was my second attempt, but it still worked. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Renee Bollier, and this is my Science Fair project. It's called Milk's Favorite Cookie. It has two sides going at once, and what will happen is when you pull on the string in the back, this cup will tip, releasing the marble down these inclined planes into this compartment, and that will spin down these inclined planes, hit and activate this mouse trap, and this will swing over and chop down the scissors, cutting the string, which will release this pulley, dropping the Oreo into the milk. Also, when you pull on the string, it's going to pull down on the end of this lever, tipping the cup up and into this funnel, and the milk will go down the straw into the cup. So here it goes. Doesn't work. It didn't work. It works sometimes, but it doesn't work always, so almost. Thank you.
I'm Kevin Tran, and this is my science project. So what's going to happen is the ball's going to roll down the inclined plane, and then it's going to bounce off and go down another inclined plane, and then it's going to pull down the cup, and then the cup will pull up the lock, and then the hammer will come down and open the bottle. And that's it.
Hello, I'm Emily, and this is my 2010 Rube Goldberg project. It's called Pizzazz, and it opens a container of Pez candy. My first step is when a lever is flipped up, and then because the opposite goes down, then it hits the open button of a cash register. Then the drawer opens and the wedge comes out. The next step is that it hits the car that goes down the inclined plane. Because the car goes down the inclined plane, it hits the ruler, and the ruler causes the wheel to spin, and the ruler on the other end opens the container of Pez. And now the actual demonstration. It's very quick.
Can I have it, please? Please, 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 please.
Hi, I'm Audrey. It's my machine. It pours sugar into coffee. I have a marble in here. I'm going to pull out the popsicle stick, and the marble's going to go down the screw and inclined plane and onto the lever, and that's going to knock down all the dominoes, which will hit this, and the pulley will put the sugar into the coffee. So I'll demonstrate. It worked.
Hi, my name is Hannah Mason at the 2010 Nashua Catholic Science Fair. My project is the Big Dipper, which dips the pretzel into chocolate. So, the way to get my project to work is you pull this string up here, which lifts an elevator, which has a little metal ball in it. It'll go around this screw, fall onto this car, which will pull this chain, and then it'll lift up this weight, which will knock another weight down and hit this lever and dip the pretzel into the chocolate. So I'm going to go ahead, get up on the stage, and show you how it works. All right, so I'm going to start by pulling up this string, which will lift this elevator. And here you have a chocolate-covered pretzel.
Hi, this is Linda Byron, judging Megan Hansen on her Rube Goldberg project. Megan, can you tell me what your project does?
It feeds fish, and it's called Fishing for Food.
All right, do you want to go through the different steps so we can see the simple machines?
Sure. My first step is an inclined plane where I put the golf ball through first, and then it goes down through the screw, and then down the second inclined plane, which hits the lever, which the weight of the golf ball and the racket ball, which is in here, the weight of that pushes down on here, which turns the pulley, which pulls up and twists the wheel and axle and feeds the fish.
Very good. Okay, let's try it out. What do you think? Okay, jump up. Okay. Ta-da! Awesome! And the fish happy to get their food. Good job. Very good.
Is that a microphone? Hello, I'm Kurt Iskey, and I am right here at the 2010 Nashua Catholic Science Fair. And I am introducing my simple machine that I made all the way from scratch for this event, and it's called Call for Duty. The main purpose of this is to ring the bell right here. The task is for the dog to put pressure on this inclined plane, to push down and ring the bell to go to the bathroom or to be let outside for whatever reason. You can teach your dog, because I also did as well. So what's going to happen is this inclined plane you have to press down on, and it will pull down on this rope, which will tilt the lever down, which means the weight will fall down the inclined plane into another lever, falling into the cup, pulling on the rope, which pulls the bell. And I'll show you how it works. And that's it, and that's as simple as it gets, and it works every time.
Hello, my name is Saswat Bhattacharya, and this is my science fair project, the magic lamp. What it does is turn on a lamp, a lava lamp, which has an accelerometer, and it goes down like this. A ball drops into the bucket, and it turns on the accelerometer. It starts by the ultrasonic sensor behind the board. It triggers a motor, which is a wheel and axle. The wheel and axle releases a marble, which goes down an inclined plane and goes into a cup. The cup goes down, making a lever go up, and this part of the lever goes down. When it goes down, it hits a car, which hits a marble, and the marble goes down an inclined plane and hits a marble in a screw. Both of the marbles go down the screw into the inclined plane and go into the bucket. And this is how it works. And that is my science fair project.
Hi, I'm Sarah Smythe, and this is my machine. It's called Sarah's Strawberry Chef. The goal of my machine is to tip this strawberry and have it go through the chocolate sauce and land on the napkin. The first step for my machine is I'm going to pull this tab, and the ball right here is going to roll down the screw, and it'll hit a flap, and it'll hit this car, which is a wheel and axle, and the car's going to roll down the inclined plane. Then my car is going to land in the lever, and when this side of the lever comes up, the string that's attached to the bottom will be pulled up through here and pull down the popsicle stick. And when the popsicle stick falls, the hinge will be released, and the bucket of weights will be dropped. And then these two pulleys will be pulled, and this will raise, and the strawberry will fall down onto the napkin. And now I will demonstrate. Ta-da!
Guy Morin, physical science teacher, 8th grade at Nashua Catholic Regional Junior High School. And I just want to say we had another great science fair this year. Everything was absolutely successful, and I got to give credit to the students for doing such an outstanding job. We gave them a little bit of guidance, and they went to work, and we have well over 120 projects in terms of putting simple machines together and using material predominantly from homes, not costing very much money, and making very simple tasks in a very complex way. They did an absolutely outstanding job, totally proud of their effort, and it's just been a great opportunity.
All the students were given requirements for the project. They worked individually at home. They had assigned rubrics so they knew what they needed to do, and they completed a task. The task could have been something very simple, like popping a balloon, or a lot more difficult, like dunking a pretzel in chocolate. Most of the kids really enjoyed the project. They learned a lot about planning their time, trial and error, going through the scientific method, trying something, maybe it doesn't work, and what they have to do to change it to make it work. Overall, Nashua Catholic, great place to be, and we had a great year.